How extreme are things about to get with Hush involved? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Don't forget to support the industry that brings you these great stories by going to your local comic book store or shopping online today. We're ending this episode at issue number 28, so if you want to keep reading past when we're done and you can't wait for the next episode, then go ahead and buy the next issue. Now, when we last left off, Batgirl and Red Hood had gotten the information that will free Commissioner Gordon, but we discovered that Jason Bard is actually working against Batman, even though Batman was led to believe that he's one of the good guys. And Hush is now involved, and he just injected fear toxin into Alfred's head. So what's going to happen now that we have Hush involved? Jason Bard is working against everyone, and the Architect is free on Gotham to burn it down. Things are about to get extreme, and if you want to support Comicstorian, then go check out the sponsor of the Batman Eternal series, jackofalltradesclothing.com. Pop in the promo code BatmanExtreme5, and you can get this awesome Batman shirt $5 off until this Friday. And if you end up seeing this episode much later than that, don't forget, Jack of All Trades has a bunch of awesome t-shirts that they rotate out pretty regularly, so you can be the only guy who has that shirt. Now, let's go ahead and get started with Batman Eternal Part 4.
Things begin with Julia trying to call Bruce to make him aware that something has happened to her father, but he's not answering. And Alfred manages to get the words out to her. Grandfather clock, 10:48. At first, she is lost as to what's going on, but when she turns around and sees the clock, she decides to spin the hands to 10:48 and is amazed when it opens up, revealing a secret passageway. Elsewhere, the Architect has begun his assault on Arkham by taking over a tower that was still under construction. Batman sees him tearing apart the walls from a distance and setting something up, so he calls back to the Batcave, but no one answers. Until Julia Pennyworth ends up answering the call and, to Batman's surprise, informs him that her father is currently being taken to the hospital. She tells Batman that he should go to her father, he should try to help, but Batman informs her that he can't, much to her dismay. Batman explains that he needs to get to the Architect's beacon now, or people are going to die. It's what Alfred would have wanted. So he goes to the tower and he gets inside and he starts taking out the guards and saving the hostages. And then he asks for Penny 2's help. Julia, help me. He needs to know the layout of the building so that he can get these hostages out. And once he does get them out with her help, he goes to the top where he slams the Architect into a wall. Who are you working for? This is only the start, Batman. But behind him, Batman can hear someone talking and a shot fired. No, not him. Penny 2, how did the attacker get into the mansion? Through the South Library. The clues are right there. It's the only person that it could have been. Hush. And behind Batman, Hush has killed one of the hostages. Meanwhile, in the Gotham Underground, some more of the thugs are fighting animals against each other until Catwoman comes in to rescue a snow leopard that they were just about to sacrifice to pit bulls. But as she tries to get out of the arena with the cat, the villainous character Tiger Shark takes a shot at her, ruining Catwoman's rescue operation. As she's mourning the loss of the snow leopard, a child by the name of Jade sneaks into Catwoman's apartment and tells her he needs her at Blackgate. Elsewhere, Croc's trying his best to find his way out of the tunnels beneath Gotham as he sealed himself there to avoid Jason Bard. His people need him, he screams out as he drops multiple undead creatures. Catwoman and Jade both make it to the cell in Blackgate that they were trying to get to. The cell of the last crime family in Gotham. The one that's been out of commission for the longest time. The one run by Catwoman's father. Catwoman grabs him and demands to know why he would use a child to get at her. And he explains, Jade works for Croc and wanted to help. Then he explains that he called her here because she needs to save Gotham. She is the only one that can unify the families. While she goes by the name Selina Kyle, her real last name is Calabrese, and with that name comes a power and a legacy. She can end these gang wars. No more innocents need to suffer. Back with Batman, he begins to beat down the Architect, telling him that he's just Hush's pawn. But the Architect tells Batman that it's too late, and Penny 2 reports seismic activity happening beneath the tower that they're all on. The tower begins to fall apart around them as the Architect jumps off the side, using his wings to fly away. All of Gotham begins to feel the smaller quakes, from the random streets with the random passerbys all the way down to the underground as Catwoman and Jade leave her father back in the cell. But across town, Jason Bard enters the mayor's office and he tells him, "This city has been going downhill since Zero Year, and I have reason to believe that all of these recent events are connected. We need to declare martial law in the city, sir." Meanwhile, over in the old Gotham district, Cluemaster is having a meeting and he sure didn't check for any tails because Stephanie Brown, in her spoiler outfit, has snuck in behind and is recording the conversation. But she's left wondering who this bandaged man that he's talking to is, the one that's ordering her father around. Hush explains that they're gonna move forward and Cluemaster needs to present a body for his daughter now. She needs to die. But Cluemaster tells him that he already has his men working. He has a guy messing with the traffic lights, causing gridlocks. He's blowing out water lines, and they've begun rolling blackouts. So once Hush leaves, Spoiler jumps down from the rafters and she gets ready to take her motorcycle. But that's when Cluemaster comes back in and throws gas onto the floor. It fills the room and Spoiler begins to cough. "We could have been Cluemaster and the Pointer. Why are you turning on me, Stephanie?" "A pointer is a dog, Dad," she shouts as she throws a wrench at his head and takes a motorcycle. He quickly gets up and begins to chase her on his own motorcycle, throwing various explosives at her. And eventually, they make their way to the bridge where Stephanie lets the bike get blown up so that her father thinks that he's won. And just then, the police arrive to arrest him. She waves at him. "Hey!" She set the whole thing up to get him arrested. Meanwhile, at the Gotham Gazette, Jason Bard is forcing them to run a story stating that the city is under attack and that the government refuses to act. He needs them to run this story now to save everyone, to make them aware of what's about to happen. Of course, this starts a panic across the town, and a young girl is about to be mugged for a jug of water. But Harper Row and Red Robin prevent it from happening. He started her training in Tokyo, and he's using this as a perfect opportunity to see if it's been working, and she's been getting good. Back with Batman, he knows that he has to move fast if Hush is behind all of this, and he has Penny 2 run a scan on the cameras in Blackgate just to see who set the architect free. And that's when he sees his new friend, Jason Bard, setting the psycho free. Red Hood and Red Robin take a second to stop in and check on Alfred. They're getting close to home, Robin says, as they note that Commissioner Gordon and Alfred are now both out of commission. "Let's get Batgirl and go see the boss. It's time for us all to work together again." Batman leaps into Bard's apartment to try and end this, but inside he discovers nothing more than a hologram of Hush. "Why are you doing this, Tommy?" "I've come here to take everything away from you, everything that you've never deserved." He then blows up the apartment with Batman inside. As he struggles to get out of the explosion, Red Robin reaches out a hand. "We're here." So the whole crew goes back to the Batcave to go over this whole situation and meet Juliet Pennyworth. Red Robin goes over the notes. Jim Gordon hasn't been released from prison yet, even though Jason and Barbara got enough evidence to clear him. Riots are spreading throughout Gotham. There's a nanotech virus that I can't even crack the surface of, and Alfred's been injected with so much fear toxin that it could be years until he recovers. Who is this that is attacking us, that knows us so well? And Bruce tells them, "It's Hush. It's been Hush all along. He owns the police and he got the riots started." So Tim, Jason, and Barbara all tell Bruce that they'll be there for him, and they head off to stop all the riots, to try their best. They're gonna find Hush's plants that are keeping the riots going, and they're gonna take down the plants. Batman takes Julia to see her father and explain that Hush was a former friend of Bruce's, and when he lost his parents, everything went downhill, and he blamed Bruce for having what he deserved himself. So his goal has always been to take it all away from Bruce. Meanwhile, Spoiler has broken into the prison so that she can show her father what she's about to post to the internet. All of her spoilers about his plans and his evil deeds. But he smirks as her post changes from revealing everything to a bounty of $100 million on her head. Then, while the Bat family is preoccupied trying to squash the riots and the police are trying to work together to calm down the riots, Dr. Thomas Elliot, Hush's true identity, moves Alfred from the hospital and into Arkham Asylum. And while Alfred is trying to get his bearings in Arkham Asylum, Croc has finally started to make his way back to the service, and as he exits through the Arkham Asylum tunnels, he won't be having any problems with the bizarre creatures that have started taking over Arkham Asylum. Back with Jason Bard, he smirks as he sees Batman's shadow looking over him. "Let's talk, Batman." But Batgirl leaps at him. "Oh, you're gonna wish that I was Batman." Across Gotham, everyone is looking for something. Batman and Catwoman are looking for information on Hush and the gangs, but they have a slight falling out when Batman asks if he can help her with her issue. And Croc, he's back in Gotham tearing the place apart looking for Jade. When he escaped Bard, he left Jade with Batman, so where is she now? Once Catwoman gets back to her apartment, she finds another of Gotham's gangs awaiting to assault her and kidnap her. When Catwoman comes to, she's tied to a stripper pole in a strip club with a villain known as the Skull, ready to beat her head in with a baseball bat. And Jade is about to be forced to watch. Meanwhile, Batman has thrown a tracer onto a random thug, hoping that he will lead him back to Hush's base of operations. Back with Catwoman, she turns to Jade and she tells her not to watch as she gets ready to take a bat to the head. And that's when Croc breaks down the door looking for Jade. He swore that he would protect Jade. She is his family. Jade perks up, Mr. Wayland! And the Skull turns to see him. Holy hell, he's real. Using this distraction, Catwoman trips up Skull, putting him to the ground. Croc continues to throw thugs around, with bullets bouncing off of his thick skin. Everything is getting crazy hectic, and then one of the gang leaders decides that he's gonna take a shot at Catwoman so that she can't get away, just as Jade is trying to uncuff her. Batman arrives just as things are beginning to calm down because the thug led him right to this building, but as he enters, he sees Croc on his knees holding Jade, and Catwoman crying. Jade took the bullet for her, and she's already dead. Croc just tells everyone to throw him in Arkham, because they took his people, they took his Jade, they took his soul. He's got nothing left. Batman jumps in, not understanding what's going on, and he's ready to attack Croc, but Catwoman kicks him aside. Leave Croc alone! So Batman grabs her by the shoulders to ask her, what happened? What did you do, Selina? Catwoman begins to cry on Batman's surprised shoulder. I could have stopped it. I could have stopped innocents from being in the crossfire. Selina, I'm here. And she steps away. No, you're not. I'm alone. Back with Batgirl, she's threatening to drop Bart off a rooftop until he finally talked, but she couldn't bring herself to actually hurt him, and he knew that, so he didn't say anything. But that's when Jason Todd arrives. And he takes the rope from her, and he drops Jason Bard to the ground. As Bard is falling to Gotham face first, he says, I'm sorry, Gotham! And that's when Batgirl catches the rope right in time at the last second. You were always better than me, Barbs, and you proved it again. Batgirl looks to Jason Todd. Maybe you should stay this time, Jason. Help the family. Save Gotham. Nah, Gotham's never been enough for me, Barb. What if there was more? She says, leaning up against him. No, he says, turning away, grabbing his hood and putting it on. Why? Because, Barb, it's like you said, I'll never be Dick Grayson. And with that, Red Hood jumped off the side of the tower and landed on Starfire's spaceship. Red Hood, Starfire, and Arsenal have many more adventures to go on their own, and we'll be touching on those later. But once again, across Gotham, Catwoman sneaks back into Blackgate Penitentiary, where she walks up to her father. She looks right at him, and she tells him, you were right. There's only one person that can fix this, who can control the chaos, who can assert the natural order. Me, the daughter of the Lion. And that is our latest Batman Eternal cliffhanger. Don't forget, we still have Batwing Inspector beneath Arkham Asylum, and that is about to get crazier because now Alfred is in there also. Batman still hasn't tracked down Hush and has no idea where he's located right now. And we still have the nanotech virus situation with Red Robin. So what's gonna happen next time, my dear viewers? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a like, and check out Jack of All Trades Clothing for our latest promo deal for our sponsor. You can find it in the description down below. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Comicstorian and Instagram at Comicstorian. I'm Benny, and I'll catch you guys next time right here.